All right, I'm here with the 2023 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro, and as you can see, it is all new. After a long time of the old Sequoia being around, we finally have a new one, and it's pretty cool. I mean, styling-wise, this thing looks the business. It's amazing. It looks aggressive, looks off-road, looks burly and strong, and I just think it looks really, really cool. I love the LED headlights, the marker lights, the old school retro badge. You also have your LED light bar for your off-roading times where you can really illuminate the road. Although I will say these lights and fog lights do a really great job as is, but the integrated light bar is a cool option. This solar octane orange is kind of a love it or hate it, but it's certainly bright and looks very beautiful against the backdrop of snow and the mountains, and it's eye-catching. You'll get a lot of attention in this special TRD Pro only color, which now extends to the other TRD Pro models, the 4Runner, the Tacoma. You also have your cool BBS forged TRD Pro wheels that come on this that look great, similar to the Tundra wheels. Your TRD Pro little plastic things that don't really do anything, but they look kind of cool. Don't order it with these. These are huge. These are so big, and they create massive blind spots. If you're towing, they can extend way out. They do have integrated lights and cameras and everything else, but they are so big, you have to really look around them to make sure you're not going to hit another car or another person. I do like these steps. I think that they're needed to get in. Nice Falcon Wild Peak tires, which do a great job. You've got your TRD Pro specific suspension, cool LED tail lights, your dual exit exhaust here. That's pretty loud. It sounds pretty rumbly. They did a great job of making this sound like a V8, even though it's not a V8. Very much not. It has a hybrid in it, or a battery. It's a hybrid motor. You've got your TRD optional roof rack up there, which creates a lot of wind noise. I also would save your money there and get your own if you want a roof rack, which you will probably need, because as you can see, cargo space behind the third row is not fantastic. You can maybe fit a backpack or two back here. You can take this little tray and slide it up here to create more, shelves for your storage. You fold these down, you would think that they would fold flat, right? That's as much space as you get. You can slide these forward to give you a little more space, but you kind of end up with like this tiered cargo area, which is going to be difficult with groceries, camping gear. So make the most of it that you can, but you're gonna probably need a roof rack. I just don't know that I'd recommend that one because it does create a lot of wind noise. All right, so starting up the TRD Pro Sequoia, you've got this nice large red start button here. It says TRD, pretty cool. And kind of quietly roars to life. Obviously, the centerpiece here being this magnificent, huge, I believe this is a 14-inch screen. I like all these buttons down here. You got easy access to heated seats, ventilated seats, all your standard stuff. Camera view mode here, which gives you the 360 view. Tons of other cool camera modes as well. There's cameras all over the place. Your drive modes here, tow, haul, all that stuff. Four-wheel drive, you just push this down, select it over. You've got your wireless charger here, cup holders, and then you have this really kind of interesting center console. This tray slides so you can access, I don't know, a bag of chips or I don't know what you're gonna access, but you can access. You've got USB-C, regular USB in there, and then the whole thing folds up pretty large. You can probably fit a bag in there, purse, a small backpack. Coin slots, which if you still are someone that holds a lot of coins around, you can put them right there. It does feel a little flimsy, but there is a lot of hard plastic in here. This is soft. This is a little hard, but overall, I think it's a very comfortable place to be. I think the gear selector is cool. The steering wheel feels good. It's nice and warm, thank goodness, because it's freezing today. And I like these seats. I think the cool camo pattern is cool. It's not real leather, I believe it's synthetic, but I don't mind. The heated feels excellent, the ventilated features work great, and this awesome TRD Pro stitching is, of course, incredible. Okay, so coming into the back row, I'm 5'9", and me sitting behind myself, you can see it is lounge-like in here. This is like F-150, Ram 1500 levels of footroom. Just amazing. This is kind of how the Tundra was as well. You have these nice vents down here and up here as well. Now, one interesting thing, too, to be aware of with the second row is that these seats don't slide. They're fixed, which is nice. You have a lot of legroom, and, you know, you actually do have some good amount of room in the back for the third row, but just know that you're not going to be, like, sliding these around like you are in a lot of other third row SUVs that you see today. Okay, so to get into third row, this is just like our old 2000 Land Cruiser that we had. So kind of funny, kind of charming, but you do pull this, and this whole thing just folds up, and you've got a series of kind of steps here to get into, and then once you're in, pull that seat down, pull it up, and I'll slide over so you can see better, but I do have a decent amount of legroom. Like, again, I'm 5'9", my knees aren't touching. The thing that I don't love about it is my hair is brushing the roof here, and so you know, anybody taller than 5'9" is probably gonna want to stay away from the third row. Right, so starting off in the 2023 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. So right off, I don't know if you can hear everything that's going on, but there's quite a bit of noise in a lot of ways. So first of all, you have this dual exit exhaust, which sounds pretty cool. It's pretty throaty, and it pairs very nicely with the sound that kind of comes into the cabin. I wouldn't say it's loud, but you hear a lot of the exhaust, you hear a lot of the engine, and it's fake engine sounds. As far as other sounds go, you also have a lot of just kind of weird sounds. And if you've driven a hybrid before, you kind of know what those are. Those hybrid electrical battery sounds are very, like, they are exacerbated here, and you hear a lot of stuff. Another source of sound is you do have a fair bit of, like, tire noise. I mean, that's to be expected with these Falcon Wildpigs. They're actually, I like these tires a lot, but there is some road tire noise there. That's not terrible. There is a lot, and I'm telling you, a ton of sound from this roof rack. And I know that Toyota put that little front air dam on front of it to try to cut down on some of that wind noise. But it is, especially on the freeway, I would absolutely not buy one of these with that roof rack. It's excessively loud. The only other thing as far as sounds go that you're greeted by as you're driving this thing around, whether you're on the freeway or just around town, is just the interior. There's a lot of hard plastic in here. And I was a huge fan of the Tundra Limited that we had last year for a little while, and I really enjoyed it, like, for that week that we had it. I still think it's a great truck, but being here in the Sequoia, which is largely based on the Tundra, you definitely notice some things you didn't notice the first time, and that is, like I mentioned, a lot of hard plastic, and a lot of it can be kind of rattly, and especially, like, if you listen to the center console here. And so I think it's probably a matter of time, and I've read and I know people who own Tundras that have had to, you know, put little felt, you know, strips or little felt stops, bump stop things that will, like, soften that sound, but you know in time that's going to be rattling quite a bit. So those things aside, as far as the driving experience goes, power is awesome. I will stand by it with the Tundra, with the LX600 that we were in. That is one of the top selling points of this vehicle. Aside from all of the cool off-road goodies that you get with the TRD Pro, the shocks, the suspension, everything else that goes with it, you know what those things are. The power here is so good. I mean, you have power all the time, anywhere, anytime you want, and it's fun, and it sounds good with the exhaust too, and the handling is pretty good. This transmission, this engine, I think are wonderful. Don't be fooled by the hybrid though, thinking you're going to get good gas mileage. We've been averaging 15.1 miles per gallon. This thing is rated, upwards or almost near 20 miles per gallon, and you're not going to get that. I do really enjoy these seats. I think that they're pretty comfortable. The heating elements in the steering wheel and in the seats work awesome. The space is good. Everything feels good. It feels good to drive. I like the steering wheel. It's pretty chunky. I like the leather that's on it, or at least fake leather that's on it, if it is fake leather. There's plenty of room in the second row. But that also brings me to some other like just kind of head scratching things about the Sequoia. It's $80,000 and there's no heated rear seats. They're not ventilated either. You can't even slide them. In the third row, which I'll show you, headroom is extremely limited for adults and you're probably going to be pretty uncomfortable. Legroom is okay. It's not great, but you also can't fold this third row flat. You have this nifty kind of like little shelf system back there to help with cargo space, but with the third row up, you have virtually no cargo space. On the other side of things, this thing looks awesome. Like the styling is so cool. It's beefy. It looks amazing. I think I just really nailed it with the styling. I think it looks so cool. I think it'd look even better with 35-inch tires. You know, and it's nice to drive. It's fun to drive. It looks so cool, but for $80,000, unless you're really going to go hardcore off-road, which even that though, this thing is so big and that hood is so massive and bulbous, you can't really see over it. You've got to be using the cameras the whole time. For $80,000, you can get cars that are way more features, more luxury, maybe not quite as much off-road capability, but this is a lot of money. And I think in some ways it's a tough sell. But if you're about the Toyota brand, your exclusivity, you've got the TRD Pro, you got the cool color, you can go off-road, then maybe this is for you. In conclusion, I think the new Sequoia is pretty cool. It doesn't feel like it's all that more powerful. This hybrid does, give you some immediate nice electric boost with that torque, especially I've heard if you're towing, but it's not like crazy more than like the standard Tundra engine. And so take that for what you will. Go drive this, drive a regular Sequoia, see what works best for you if that's what you're interested in. If it is a third row family SUV though, there might be better options out there. I'm excited to see what's next for Toyota and see, especially once battery technology improves, if they can figure out a way to get that floor lower so you can load or lower that third row, flat, have more cargo space, have more comfort for the occupants back there. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.